Hello students, it's Mr. Burlingame. I figured I'd start a lesson before school started. Imagine that. Anyway, it's summer and you guys coming in from DI1, I'm going to assume that you don't know that much about Photoshop. So please forgive me if I'm going too slow or too fast. Just stop and ask me. Alright, here we go. I want you to open up the sample image. This one right here is fine, I guess. And what we're going to do is we're going to play around in layers to show you a little bit about what different layers can do and how you can use layers to change completely everything about an image. Make sure you reset your essentials. So right click, reset essentials, bam. And you should have your layers panel right down here on the right. First thing we always do is we Command J and duplicate that layer, or right click the layer, duplicate layer, whatever way you want to do it. And we're going to make a selection of the purple shirt. Now, I'm not just going to change the color of the shirt, or we're not going to just change the color of the shirt. We're going to do more than that, because changing the color of the shirt is really not that hard. So we're going to make it look completely different. Let me think. Let's go ahead and make a clipping mask. So the first thing we need to do is make a selection, and you can use the selection tools that best suit you. But it's most important to understand that when you'll use a variety of the selection tools to get your selection. I'm going to show you what I mean right here. I wouldn't use the magic wand and select the white. You could do that, or you can go up to filter or to select and select the color range and select the white and try to draw you in a selection there, which as you can see is going to be difficult because I can't get a perfect balance here. So we're not going to go that way. We're going to use the quick selection tool for starters, and I'm going to drag from here and drag just around the area I want to select, and bam, we are selected. Now say I didn't want to select my face. Let's subtract from the selection. Right now I've selected me, so we're going to make the selection less. If you look at your control panel, there's new selection, add to selection, and subtract from selection, and let it always default at the 13 size for now. You can play around with that later, but we're going to subtract from the current selection. So I hit subtract from selection, and I'm just going to click and bring my mouse along my neckline to the other side here and draw a circle around all this stuff right here. And it didn't work out that well. Now watch this. I can select my marquee tool and be sure to choose this one, subtract from selection, and I'm going to draw just a rectangle up and eliminate that part of it. And now let's use the lasso tool. Let's draw a little lasso. Oops, let me see. We need to make sure it says subtract from selection. It's very important, subtract from selection, because we're subtracting from our current selection. There we go, we're closer. Now back to the magic wand, or the quick selection tool. I mean, if you wanted to get technically good at this, you'd zoom in, but we're just trying to do this for fun and really quickly. Now we need to add to the selection, because I'm going to add my collar back. So I'm just going to run my mouse around right here. There we go, a little bit here. There we go. Now I'm going to subtract, because I want to take away, I want to keep the white shirt. There we go, circle, drag it up, circle. And now I'm going to go back to add, because I'm going to keep the pink or the purple in here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's lavender. Okay, drag on up there. So you're just using the tools, subtract from selection or add a selection, never losing your original selection. So right now, as you see, I've got me selected, just the shirt, and that's what I wanted. Now I can go up here and refine the edge. When I have the selection made, I can smooth it down a little bit, and don't really use big adjustments here. Very important, because little adjustments is what makes Photoshop great. Tweaks, little tiny adjustments. The edge shift is how much you want to shift the selection larger by expanding or subtracting negative. I'm going to leave it as is, and I think I'm going to feather. No, I'm just going to leave it on smooth. Maybe smooth 4. Click OK, bam. And you didn't really see anything happen, but you did adjust that selection. Now let's copy, Command C to copy, Command V to paste. And as you see, all you have is a shirt here, which is kind of cool. Now we're going to use this shirt here. I'm going to fill it with a color, because we're going to make it a clipping mask. So hit Command and click the icon itself. the layer icon itself, and it selects the pixels. And then Shift F5 is a fill, and we're going to fill it with black. You can fill it with whatever color you want. And it's really up to you. And now I know it looks like poop, but that's okay. Deselect, because we're not there yet. Now, here's the fill of the layer. We still have our original layers. Actually, we have two of them, so we're jamming. Now, we're going to make a clipping mask, but first we need to make a layer above it. Make a layer above it, and we're going to make a clipping mask out of a gradient. So find gradient on your toolbar, and if you do not see these colors up here, hitting the drop down on the control panel, hit reset gradients, okay? And don't append, just click OK. And choose background or foreground, choose any of them, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to choose this one right here, and radial gradient, and I'm going to click and drag and let go. Now it'll fill your whole picture. You're going, oh man. Well, that's okay, because if we clip a layer, right click that layer that you just made, that gradient layer, and create a clipping mask, it will only clip to the layer just below it. Now it still looks like duty, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate one of these good layers down here, drag it to the top, and now we're just going to change the blending mode to multiply and seeing what happens here. Don't really like multiply. Screen. Oop, no, multiply is better. I don't like it on my face. So really what I would do is create a mask, use a brush, and brush out my face. That's way too big of a brush, but oh well. There you go. That's all I want you to do. Alright, get it done, turn it in. Good luck.